Hey guys, it's Robyn, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. Today I've got a bit of a different kind of video. This one isn't about any specific products or anything like that. This one is just about kind of my story and how and why I joined Scentsy and where it has taken me so far and maybe where I hope it will go and all of that good stuff. So I just kind of wanted to chat about Scentsy in general and how I got into it, and I don't know how far into the weeds we're going to get in this video. So stay along for the ride if you want to. But yeah, just giving you a heads up, this is going to be a chatty type video, and I don't know exactly where we're going yet, but we're going to go there, so buckle up. So for March in Scentsy one of the big things is there's a join promotion. It is a $35 kit for the US and a $46 kit for Canada. In that kit, there's a large amount of products. It's worth way more than the value of the kit itself. So some customers are looking at that and thinking, hey, should I just like get the kit? You can. There's no rule saying that you have to actively be a consultant just to get the kit. So you can do that. Is it like the best case scenario? Not necessarily, but there's no rule saying that you can't just buy that kit, become a consultant because you want that kit and it's a good deal. That is an option. That is kind of how I joined, honestly. There was a join promotion back in May of 2020 or 2021? 2021, I think. In May. I think it was a $25 join or a $30-something join. You got a mini warmer instead of a full size. It was a pretty small join kit, but I thought, you know what? I hadn't been in Scentsy for a long time. I hadn't purchased Scentsy in a long time. My experience with Scentsy at that point had only been purchasing from Scentsy consultants at like vendor fairs, at like craft fairs. I had never ordered from the website. I had never had a party, been to a party, anything like that. I had purchased a few random bars from consultants at vendor fairs. I did own a Scentsy warmer. It wasn't even a Scentsy warmer. I owned like a Yankee Candle warmer that I used my Scentsy wax in at that time. Because at that time, Yankee Candle did ship to Canada. So that was kind of how I got into it. I was just buying like 3 or 4 bars a year at a Christmas fair. And that was my wax. So at that time, that was all I was doing. And I typically purchased from Yankee to order a bunch of melts a couple times a year. And around that time, in 2021 or so, they stopped shipping to Canada, or at least to BC. I don't think they ship anywhere in Canada anymore, but for a while they were shipping to Ontario. But in BC where I live, they were not shipping here. So I had nowhere to get like wax for my warmer. But I knew I liked Scentsy because I'd had it before and enjoyed it. So I thought, I'm going to place a Scentsy order. I've never placed a Scentsy order, but I'm going to go to their website and I'm going to place a Scentsy order. So I go to their website, I look around, I find a consultant, not in my town, but there was one in the next town over. So I chose her. I live in a really remote area up north in BC. There's not a whole lot of people here. So there wasn't anyone in my town selling Scentsy. At least that was leader above. So I ordered from this consultant in the next town over. And she was friendly. She responded and thanked me for my order and everything. And then I got my order and I was like, I love it. I got a new warmer. I got a bunch of wax. I loved it. So loved my order. Then I went back to look for another order. And I was like, you know what? There's a join special and it ends tonight. It's the 31st. It ends tonight. Am I going to do this? Am I going to do it? So I like went to bed and I was just like thinking. I was like, it's like, what do I have to lose? It's like $30-something. I get a warmer anyways. I get wax anyways that I would have bought either way. Like, what would it hurt? Would it hurt to just like get the kit and just leave it? Because I don't want to sell anything. Like, I have zero desire. I have a full-time job. I do not need to be selling. I have a 2-year-old. No, not happening. But I want that warmer, and like it's $30-something, whatever. So I thought, I think I'm gonna get the kit. I think I'm gonna do it. So then I was like, okay, who do I sign up under? Do I sign up under the lady I ordered from? Because she seems fine, but like I don't know anything about her. I don't know who she is. What if she leaves Scentsy, and then what? Then like, what if I go to her up? I assume how it works is I'll go to her upline if she quits, and then who knows who I'll have. And that is actually how it works. So if you sign up under someone who does leave Scentsy, you go to their upline. That's how that works. So I was like, what if I end up with someone like totally random and they're like hounding me to sell and I don't want to do that? Like, I don't want to do that. So I was like, I need to find someone who seems like they're really in it, but also isn't going to be pushy, because I want someone that's going to be like really in the game, so they're not going to leave Scentsy and like leave me with God knows who. But I also want someone who isn't going to be hounding me to sell and will respect the fact that I just want to be my own customer. I just want to make my own orders, get $10 or $15 back here and there, and that's all it is. A couple orders a year, a little bit of cash back. That is what this is going to be for me. So I looked on Instagram and I just searched Scentsy on Instagram and I looked through a bunch of consultants and I found one that seemed like a lot of fun. She just seemed fun, lighthearted. I saw she was a nurse, so she had a day job. And that right there, I was like, okay, she's got a day job, a good paying day job. So she's not going to be hounding me to sell to pay her own bills. She has a job. And I'm like, good, okay. She seems fun. She seems lighthearted. She has a job. This is like her side gig, but she's really in it and like working it. So I have a good feeling here. I like this lady. I'm going to sign up under her. I've never ordered from her before. I don't know her from a hole in the ground. She lives in California of all places. I live in northern BC in Canada. So I just joined under her. I didn't message her. I didn't contact her. It was the last night of the join promotion on the 31st. And I just like joined under her. And then the next day she like messaged me and was like, hey, like, how's it going? And I was like, yeah, don't mind me. Don't worry about me. I'm just here to be a customer. Like, never, don't mind me. And she's like, yeah, no worries. That's fine. So I joined, and then I was like, you know what? I need like a hobby, because the work I do, like I'm a trauma counselor. So I have a full-time job that is a really fulfilling field, but sometimes a heavy field. And there are times where I have a hard time leaving work at work and unwinding. So I needed something that would be like a fun hobby. And I love scent. I've always loved scent. That has been like a thing since I was a teenager. Love scent. Candles, body stuff, whatever. Scent is my thing. So I was like, I would love to do something with the scent stuff and like the scent and sharing it. Like I would love to do like talk about scent. So then I was like watching a lot of YouTube videos at the time, and I was like watching Patricia Gates and like Ashley Nicole and like a whole bunch of YouTubers here in the Scentsy community. And I was like, I love watching these videos. Like these are so much fun. They're so relaxing. They're so lighthearted. Nothing is heavy here. There's nothing serious here. This is like fun and it's informational, but it's also taking my mind off like the heavy stuff at work. So I was like, what if I did this? Like that would be crazy, because I am so introverted, like painfully introverted, like so shy. I do best one-on-one. I don't like crowds. I don't like groups. I'm very introverted. My social battery is very low. So I was like, that would be insane. I don't do public speaking, like at all. I will never ever do public speaking. So I was like, how am I gonna do a YouTube video then? I'm like, well, no one's gonna watch it anyways. So I was like, I'll make a video. I'll do that. I'll make a video showing the things I got. And like, no one's gonna watch it, so it doesn't even matter. Like, I'll just make it for my own fun and for my own personal growth and upload it to the internet, and no one's gonna watch it anyways, so it's fine. I didn't even tell my husband I was doing this. I told no one. No one at work, none of my friends. My husband didn't know. I was just like, he knew I became a consultant, but he knew it was just for my own purchases. But I didn't tell him about the YouTube thing until like after I'd already uploaded it. And then he was so supportive. He was like, oh my gosh, and like liked it. And like, I was like, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. I don't want anyone to know. So people watched it. And then I had like a subscriber. And I had a subscriber before I told my husband even. And I was like, someone subscribed to me. What? Someone subscribed to me? So then I was like, well, I need to make another video for this one subscriber, because like they put their faith in me, which sounds crazy now. But like, I was like, well, I can't let them down. Like I better make another video. So I made another video, and then I had more subscribers, and like it was slow going. It really was. Cause again, I wasn't telling anyone. So anyone that was finding me was finding me at random. So that's kind of how it went. And so I got into it. Like I love Scentsy. Like I love the products. I believe in the products. I love them. So I was like, I'll just keep making videos. And I did. And for a long time, it was just me making videos and making commission on my own purchases. And for a long time, that's what it was. And that's what I wanted it to be. So that was fine. And then it grew, and then people started ordering from me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so blessed. Like, oh my gosh, thank you. And then more people started ordering from me. And then it became like a thing. Then it was like, okay, now I have to like schedule time into my days to like make this happen, because I have to communicate with customers and like follow up on things and like do all kinds of things. But I appreciate that these people are ordering from me, and like I've like become friends with some of my customers as well over time. And so I like chatting with them. And so then it was like, okay, well now we have like this whole thing going on, and it's slowly grown to now where it's like a whole side thing for me. I still have my full-time job. I still love my full-time job. I have no intention of ever leaving my full-time job. But I also have this kind of like lucrative hobby that is providing a substantial extra income for my family to do all the extra things, to do all the fun stuff. And it's also providing personal growth in that I make these videos that I now have no discomfort speaking publicly anymore. I would happily stand up in a crowd and speak, which I never would have done before. I've made a whole bunch of friends, which is hard for me because, like I said, I'm a super introvert. So making friends is difficult, but if I make them through this community, it seems to be easier. So it's working well. I don't know. That's kind of how I've gotten to where I am with Scentsy. And my director, Michelle, she's the one that I signed up under. She's still with Scentsy. She has no intention of leaving. And she doesn't push me. She just leaves me alone to do my thing and congratulates me when I get things done. And other than that, leaves me alone. If I want help, I ask her for help. She gives it to me immediately. And then I'm on my way again. So that's just kind of how it's worked for me. And that's kind of the consultant I try to be for my team as well. Is if you want my help, I'll give you my help. If you want to like shoot for the stars, I'll help you go there. But if all you want to do is get the kit and be on your way, let me know that and I will leave you alone. That is fine. That is what I wanted to. The other thing is, like I said, I am a mom to a now 6-year-old, and she was much younger when I first joined. And I have a full-time job. I have a husband. I have a dog now. I have a cat. I own a home. So I'm busy, is what I'm saying. I am busy. I have a very full life. So Scentsy needs to fit in as a hobby, and it has become more of a side job over time. At this point in time, it is more of a side job, but it is a side job that I love. And the one thing with Scentsy is that it never feels like work. Like I need to be like, okay, so I need to plan some time to film this week. So what day am I going to film? Like, what am I going to do that? But it doesn't feel like work. It feels like a hobby that I want to do, that I'm just prioritizing because it does bring in income for my family and I love it. So it's one of those things where it's dual. It's easier to prioritize something that is actually helping your lifestyle and your family. So it's easier to prioritize. So it fills my cup and my bucket. It keeps me mentally well in the work I do, and I enjoy it. And it also helps me in other ways. So that's kind of how that works. That is the one thing with this, is if you don't want to work Scentsy, don't work Scentsy. Be your own customer. You don't have to lift a finger if you don't want to, and then you just get the commissions back on your own purchases. At this point, it's more than that for me, and I love that, and I'm so grateful for that, and that it's continuing to grow every month, and it blows my mind that people watch this, honestly, still, but I love it. So thank you for watching, and if you've been around a while, thank you. Yeah, it's just flexible. Like there are times like this last couple weeks, for instance, you haven't seen me much the last couple weeks because I didn't upload. I was still communicating with customers. I was still like doing the back end things, but I wasn't filming because my family was sick. I had a whole lot of things going on in my personal life. It just wasn't a good time. So I put Scentsy videos down for a minute and was just doing the bare minimum. I've picked it back up. I was so looking forward to picking it back up. It is like a refreshing thing to come back to doing Scentsy videos again. I love them. So being able to do them again was a relief. So you only work if you want to, and it doesn't feel like work. If it feels like work, you're doing it wrong, I feel like. That's kind of my take on it anyways. My entire point is that I have a full-time job that is work, that I also love, but it is more work than Scentsy. My full-time job is a heavy mental load. I love it. I get a lot out of it. It's really inspiring in many ways, but there is a mental load associated with my work. This job well, I don't even call it a job. My Scentsy hobby is not what I would call a mental load. This is a mental relief. It is a letting off steam. It is a having fun, focusing on lighter things. I love this. The community is wonderful, and you only have to work it if you want to. Like there are days where, as much as I love my daytime job, there are days where it's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this today. I don't have the mental capacity for this today, and I still have to go. And we all have those days in our jobs, no matter what field you're in or what job you do. Everyone has a day where they're just like, I don't want to do this today. We all go there. Everyone. And I feel like with Scentsy, if that's what the case is, then don't do it today. You have the freedom to just say, I'm not doing it today. You can do that. And that's fine. If you do that every day, you're not going to grow, of course, but if that's okay with you, then that's okay. There's no rules here. There's no set path. There's no expectation. It is what you want to do, when you want to do it, if you want to do it at all. And that's what I like about it. If I have to set it down for a week, I set it down for a week. It's fine. It will be fine. And the community itself, both the YouTube community, like the YouTube Scentsy community or the YouTube Wax community, and like the actual team, the team under me that I've built and have become friends with, and my upline team that I've also become friends with, everyone's here because they want to be here. Nobody is here because they have to be here. That is a very big difference, I feel like, with Scentsy as opposed to any other job. And again, I feel weird saying Scentsy is a job because it isn't really. It's not, yeah. It's in any field in employment, there are going to be times where not everyone wants to be there. It just is the case. Some people will hate that job and they just don't want to be there ever. And other people just have days, like I mentioned, where you just don't want to be there that day for whatever reason that is. We all go there. With Scentsy, everyone is here because they want to be here. We're uploading because we want to upload. We're smelling things and ordering Scentsy because we want to, and we would be anyways. So that's kind of the difference, is that the enthusiasm is here. There's often enthusiasm in employment too, but I don't feel like it's the same level or the same type or as consistent. Yeah, that's kind of, I guess what I'm saying is, like, the community here is enthusiastic, they're supportive, and that, I think that's because they want to be here. If you're doing this, it's because you want to. And that's kind of a big difference, I think. It's not because you have to pay your rent. So I think that's kind of an important thing to keep in mind as well. The other thing I like with Scentsy is the incentives. I didn't earn any incentives for the first couple of years. None, not one. But I wasn't trying to. I was just like I said, here for my own purchases. I wasn't aiming for incentives. I didn't care about the incentives. I had no desire. But then I just started earning them without trying, because I was lucky enough to have customers that were ordering from me, and I was just meeting the thresholds for incentives without even meaning to. And so that's kind of how this has become. It's been very much like by the seat of my pants, natural growth, which I am so grateful for, because I have no desire and will never be one of those MLM people who is sliding into your DMs trying to sell you. Like, not happening. No, not in a million years. Not happening. But I just share here, and the people that want to order, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, honestly, thank you. But as far as incentives, and I will put an income disclosure below because legally you have to, most people don't make a ton of money with Scentsy because, like I said, most people are just here to be their own customers, and that is totally fine. That is fine. But yeah, so I make substantially more than the average, and people often say, like on social media, results not typical, but neither am I. That's not true. I'm incredibly typical. I am the most, like, boring normal person in the world. I am beyond typical. So I do work at this. Like, I'm not going to say I don't put time in. I put time in. I'm filming and I'm editing and I'm uploading and I'm communicating with customers, following up on orders, doing back end work here. I do put hours in to do this, but it doesn't feel like work. Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, I am putting time in to get to where I am, but it doesn't feel like work. It feels like a relief and like a fun side hobby to throw myself into. But incentives. I have earned a duffel bag for like weekend trips. It's a really nice quality, like big duffel bag. I have earned lawn chairs, like camping chairs. They're pink and green, and they are sturdy, and they have a cooler bag in the side, and they are much better quality than I expected. I kind of thought, like, when I earned them, I was like, well, they're probably going to be kind of flimsy. Like, I don't know. Not that I think Scentsy would, like, shaft us, but I was like, they're probably going to be, like, they're going to be mass produced for a large number of people. They're probably going to be, like, the cheapest they could find. No, these are, like, high quality camping chairs. These are, like, my very tall 6'4" football build husband can sit in them and not break them, which is unusual. We have to usually get, like, really sturdy chairs for him especially, and myself. I'm plus size too. But these are great. Sturdy, fantastic, well made, have a cooler bag, like, just detail work. And they went like a nice quality on those, so was really happy with those. There's been quite a few little incentives that I've gotten. And then you also get a, like, charm bracelet, and then every month if you reach a certain level, they send you charms for your bracelet. I've now got, like, a whole basket of charms and little certificates, and it's so sweet. And again, these aren't things I was, like, striving for. These are just, like, things that have kind of naturally happened as I've progressed. So it's been really, really nice. So I do like the incentives. Those are kind of the small incentives, like the little ones. Then they have, like, the medium-sized incentives and the big incentives. There are trips you can earn. I've personally never earned a trip. I came pretty close the last couple of years. But again, I don't focus heavily on recruitment. I focus just on sharing the product and doing what I enjoy doing. So I've never earned the trips because there is a heavy recruitment piece to those, which is fine. It's just not where I'm at right now. So I personally haven't been on a trip. However, this season I did earn luggage. So from September to, like, February, I think it was, there was a large incentive where the first level of the incentive you would win a luggage set of Scentsy luggage. The second set you won a trip to Hawaii, and the third level you won, like, a trip for 2 to Hawaii. I won the luggage, and I was pretty close to getting the trip to Hawaii, but again, recruitment. But I got luggage. And you know what? Like, that is such a big deal for me. I was joking with my director that, like, the luggage is honestly almost better for me than the trip to Hawaii, because, like, honestly, I'm not a big traveler. I don't love to travel. I don't love the heat, and I'm okay with the cold where I live here. And my luggage that I have is from like 2003-ish. I got it in like middle school. It is falling apart. It is literally disintegrating. The plastic is just like crushing every time I travel. So every time I travel, I end up with like plastic shards in my clothes because more of the suitcase is chipped away. So like, it was time for new luggage. So I just have new luggage now coming from Scentsy. So that is a thank you to all my customers and my team. I have luggage now, and that's just exciting to me. I don't know. So super fun. There is also like the annual sales award, which I was really blessed to earn this year as well. So thank you to all my customers who helped me get to that. So I do get a significant financial bonus from that. So, I mean, there are really cool incentives that Scentsy offers at all different levels. There's like the smaller ones that we talked about, kind of these medium-sized like luggage type ones, and then like the larger ones like the trips and the annual sales bonus and that sort of thing. So there's all kinds of levels there. So if you're a goal-oriented person, and I am very goal-oriented, but I wasn't really like, the incentives weren't on my radar. They weren't something I was looking too carefully at. They weren't something I was really working towards. And they're just, I don't know, it's become something that's just kind of like, oh, I'm getting something new, cool. Oh, I'm getting lawn chairs, how fun. So it's just been kind of fun that way. So that's just kind of how it's been. And as far as my team, we have a lot of team members who are just literally looking to be their own consultants, and that's totally fine too. And then we have a few that are kind of really trying to work it, and some that are working it in different ways than I am even. And that's fun too. It's fun to see all the different ways that there are to work this. Some people are very much events people, and they do a lot of Scentsy events. I am not an events person. I am not setting out Christmas fairs. I am not doing tables. I am not doing a lot of local stuff like that. But some people, that's their bread and butter, and that's what they love doing, and that's what does well for them, and that's okay. I focus on like the online end of things with the videos and that sort of thing, because I can easily fit that into my schedule, and I feel like that plays better to my strengths maybe than a large group event. I'm, like I said, hardcore introvert, not gonna happen. But yeah, you can really tailor it to your strengths and tailor it to your actual wishes. And the other thing is, like, I feel like there is the freedom to change your mind over time in any direction. So when I joined, like I said, I was literally just going to be my own customer. That was my only intention. A couple orders a year, get like $20 back or something like that. And that was what I wanted. And I don't know that I changed my mind on that as much as things just grew beyond that. And there was freedom to do that. Like, I could go to my director and be like, look, like, things are changing here for me. How do I navigate this? And she had ideas and was able to help me with that. And then if I had gone the other way and said, look, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do Scentsy. I'm not doing this. There is the freedom to just step back and not do it anymore. After a year of inactivity, you just stop being a consultant. Your file is closed and you're done. And if you want to come back for free at any time, you can. But there's no like having to opt out. It's just, you just stop doing it. And then eventually you stop being a consultant, just automatically. So I feel like there's freedom in that. There's freedom to leave anytime, and there's also freedom to grow and change your mind on your goals. You can change your goals for less or more at any time, which I kind of like. So that, I guess, is an appealing thing to me as well. So again, you can work it as much or little as you want. And I feel like in general, the more you put in, like anything in life, honestly, the more you put in, the more you get in return. And I guess the thing with this is it doesn't feel like you're putting a lot in, because even the work that you're doing feels like free time, if that makes sense. So because it's fun and because we all love home fragrance and we all want to be here, it feels like fun. So putting the time in is leisure time. So that's kind of how I look at it anyways. So that's just kind of like my story and how I joined Scentsy and where it's gone for me and how, and I plan to keep doing this. Like, I enjoy doing this. I have no idea what the future holds for like my Scentsy consulting. Like I said, I have a job full-time that I love. I don't see this ever becoming a thing where I leave my full-time job. But I love doing this the way I'm doing it now. And I would be super, super excited if it did grow from this. But yeah, I love getting to know my team and helping my team. And it's just been a lot of fun. A lot of fun all around. Like there's so many different facets to this work, this like, I guess, work hobby. There's the communicating with customers, which I really enjoy. There's the dealing with like little problems that come up, like just issues with items or small issues with orders, things like that. Those are once in a while issues, but contacting support is never a big deal. Like that's one thing I really, really appreciate with Scentsy, is that when there are issues, they are generally overall fairly good at fixing them. So I feel like dealing with support is never a headache or something that I think, oh God, I have to call support. It's like, okay, I'm gonna contact support, they'll take care of it. And in general, that is the case. There's only been a couple times where I had issues, but they were resolved eventually anyways. Overall, very, very good, and they're super helpful. Then you have the filming. I love the filming. It's super fun for me. The editing, that's probably my least favorite if I had to be honest. I feel like if I had to like outsource one of my Scentsy jobs, it would be the editing. So maybe when my daughter's older, I'll pay her to edit my videos for me, because I feel weird about watching myself back and then like, I don't know, I don't like doing it. So that is one thing that I may eventually, once my daughter is old enough, ask her if she wants to do that for some extra money and then let her do that. And if she doesn't want to, then I guess I'm editing my own videos. But yeah, it's not the worst. Like as far as things go, it's not the worst. And I don't feel comfortable just not editing, because for one thing, I'm all over the map. So I always have little spots I need to edit out, because I either cough or I get up and wander off for a minute, or like I just lose my train of thought for a second. So I do like to edit. I only want to put out content that I'm 100% happy with. And that is one thing I just won't negotiate on. So I do edit my videos. Comments, I love responding to the comments. I try my best to respond to everybody. If I can't respond, I just give it a love or a heart. But in general, I try to respond to most comments. Yeah, I love doing that. I love getting to know my viewers and getting to know everyone that way. Social media, I'm really bad at. To be honest, social media is probably my biggest weakness. That is part of this that a lot of people lean into, is the social media end of things. They have like their VIP Facebook groups, or they have like Instagram posts that they really post frequently. I'm just bad at that. I just am. Part of me thinks maybe I should get better at it. Part of me is just like, you know what, it's not my thing, and that's okay. So I do post to Instagram sometimes. I have a Scentsy-based Instagram account. I am on Facebook, but it's a personal account. I don't tend to do anything for Scentsy on there at all. Just like family, friends, and people I know in real life on there, because I do post pictures of my child there. And I try to keep her off the internet for the most part, because she is just 6. So Instagram is where to find me for social media, Northern_lights_glow. And I do post Scentsy content there, and some like personal like pet content and that kind of thing as well, just for fun. But I'm generally really bad at consistency with social media. And that, again, is something that some people do really well, and that's kind of like the bread and butter of their business, and other people, that's just not their thing, and I'm just one of those people. So maybe one day I'll get better at it, maybe I won't. I have no idea. We'll see. One day maybe I'll make it a goal, but for the time being, probably not. The other big work thing here is like Happy Mail. Assembling all the stuff for Happy Mail, making the samples, labeling the samples, assembling the things, doing the envelopes, ordering the stickers, ordering all the things for Happy Mail, and printing it all off and assembling it. That is a large time commitment, but I love doing it. It's super fun. I love treating my customers and like thanking them for supporting me and kind of putting together fun little packages for them. I love doing that. It's super fun. I'm a sticker person, so I tend to include stickers with those kinds of things. So I have fun like searching out different kinds of stickers that are like seasonally appropriate and including those. It's fun. I like doing that. So it is work, but it's, again, fun work. And it's one that I like to do because it feels like I'm giving back to the people that have supported me. So that's one that I do enjoy doing very much. But it is like a lot of different things. And that is, I guess the one thing is, there's a lot of different parts to this. So no matter how you decide to work this, whether you decide to focus on social media or whether you decide to do YouTube videos like I do. My teammate Bobby Jo does YouTube videos, and she's doing great videos. Bobby Jo Sidorko is her channel. You can go check her out. She's awesome. However you decide to do this, there's a lot of different things that you do. So as opposed to a day job where maybe you have a day that looks pretty similar most of the time, this has many different things that are changing all the time throughout the year. So like new catalog change time is a much different time than transition month, which is a much different time than mid-season, which is a much different time. Like it just changes throughout the month and then within the months throughout the year. There's different things and different tasks that you're doing all the time. And even on like an average week, you've got in my case at least, YouTube comments, order follow-ups, thank you stuff, shipping like you've got all different kinds of things that are not the same thing every time you work Scentsy. So anytime I sit down to work Scentsy, which is actually just leisure time, it's like a different thing. So it's not like you're doing, oh, I have to do this thing that I do every single day. None of it's every single day. None of it is every single day. It's you pick a thing for that day, and that's the thing you do that day. And then the next day you do something else. And then that also shifts throughout the month and throughout the year. So it always feels like you're doing something a little bit different. And there's always new launches, which are really exciting. So if you're a scent fanatic, which I am in it for the scents. Like that is what I am at the end of the day here for, is the scents. That is why I'm here. The scents are fantastic, and the scents are always coming out with different things. I love that. So the fact that there's always different product launches really excites me. And so I'm always really excited to share those with you guys. So the videos themselves are probably my favorite thing to do because I get to share those things with you. So just really fun. I don't know. However you want to do it, you can do it. And if you want it to be just literally zero effort, you order Scentsy once or twice a year and you get money back on your purchases, that can be it. And then if you decide that you want it to be more, you can decide that. And if you decide you want to be out of it entirely, you can decide that. And that's what I like about this. So I guess, you know, that's my long-winded way of saying that's how I joined Scentsy and why I enjoy it. I don't know if this was like a long chatty video kind of off the rails, but that's kind of where it went. We went pretty far into the weeds. So I guess at the end of the day, my advice to anyone who is considering joining Scentsy would be, if you have doubt, this would be the month to do it because it's a low financial obligation, low financial risk. You get a larger amount of product than you pay out anyways, so it's a good deal. So if you like the products, you're getting enough products to make it worth it anyways, even if you decide to do nothing with this. But it can't hurt, you know? Like, it can't hurt. It may just take off for you like it did for me, like, I don't know. I just love it, so it's something I have fun doing. My other thing would be pick a sponsor, if you're thinking of joining, that you personally think seems like a person that you would want to work with. So even if you, like me, were just planning to make a couple orders a year, pick someone that you think you would be able to get along with if things did go further for you. So if things do get farther, it's nice to have someone that you click with or that you would be happy to work with personality-wise, or just feel like it would be a good fit. So it doesn't have to be me. Like if it's me, then fantastic, I'd love to have you. But pick someone that you would click with, whoever that might be and wherever that might be. Don't worry about location. Like I said, my sponsor is in California. It's an online world. It's an online business. We are good. Online is fine. I can't think of many benefits to having a local sponsor. I guess if there would be one benefit to a local sponsor, it would be if you're going to be doing a lot of events. If you had a sponsor who also wanted to do a lot of events, it might be helpful to have like a partner in crime to work event tables, maybe, possibly. I don't know. That could be one where you might want an in-person sponsor. But other than that, online works just fine. And in that case, yeah, whoever you want, the sky's the limit. And I also would say probably pick someone who seems fairly into it, like someone who's going to be sticking around and not leaving Scentsy anytime soon. Because again, if your sponsor leaves and quits, that's fine. They can do that very easily. But then when they do, you roll up to their sponsor and you don't necessarily know who that is or have any control over who that is. And you can't change sponsors once you've joined. That is one thing to keep in mind. So once you have joined Scentsy and you've picked your sponsor, that is now your sponsor until you quit Scentsy and leave for 6 months and come back. The only way to change your sponsor, with a few rare exceptions of like bullying and abuse and that kind of thing, are if you leave Scentsy for 6 months and then re-sign up under someone else. You can't just change your sponsor because you don't get along or you're not hearing from them enough or they're not helping you. You can't change for those reasons, unfortunately. So pick someone that you would be happy to work with and think would work well with you. That is my advice on that. Again, if it's me, that's fantastic. If it's not me, that is totally okay. Pick someone that that resonates with you. So yeah, that's kind of where I would leave that. I would also say, if you join, let your sponsor know what your plan is for Scentsy. Like, do you want this to be like a really like reach for the stars, go all in kind of thing? Or do you want to just order twice a year and be left alone? Because those are going to be two very different approaches from your sponsor. So let your sponsor know how they can help you best. So do you want to be left alone for the most part, or do you want to be really supported and checked in with often? Because that's, I guess, the struggle is. I always, personally at least, feel like I don't want to hound my teamies, but I also don't want them to feel neglected either. I don't want them to feel like they're like pressured in any way, because they're not. but I also don't want to make them feel like they can't get anywhere with me because I'm not helping them. So I want to like make sure that I have the right kind of balance depending on the person's goals. So let your sponsor know what it is that you are looking for from Scentsy at that given time. And if that changes, let them know that too. If you have gone from, I want to be left alone, don't talk to me, to I think I'm starting to get somewhere here and I want some help getting further, let your sponsor know that, because if they can help you, they probably will. So yeah, other than that, that is, I think, all I wanted to talk about today. So again, I don't even know what to call this video except for a lot of chatter about how I got into Scentsy and why I think I like Scentsy so much. I hope that was helpful in some way or another. I don't know. But yeah, if you are interested in joining, there is a join tab that tells you all the details on that. You can go to my site if you're looking for me as a sponsor, or anyone's site that you want to go to. If you have any questions about joining, you can reach out to me. Whether or not you want me to sponsor you is totally fine. I'm happy to answer questions either way. You can reach out to me email. I'll put my email address here, or you can reach out to me on Instagram at northern_lights_glow, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. We will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.